Welcome to Gettable Grammar. In this video, we're going to learn about subjects and predicates. The learning intention for today is to understand the difference between subject and predicate. You'll know that you've succeeded at this when you can identify subjects and predicates in sentences and use them effectively in your writing. Now, why are we doing this? Understanding how subjects and predicates work means that you have a better understanding of sentence structure in general. This doesn't mean in 10 years' time, when you're out in the world, you'll be thanking your lucky stars you know what subjects and predicates are. But it does mean that you're less likely to write a sentence that doesn't make sense because it doesn't have either of these two components. Now, before we get into definitions, let's take a look at this sentence. Anne Frank was a Jewish teenager. This sentence makes sense because it has the right parts, a subject and a predicate. Let's take a closer look at these. The subject is the thing that performs the action in the sentence and always contains a noun or a pronoun. We remember that a noun is a thing like a person or a book, and a pronoun is something used instead of a noun, like I, you, he, she, it, we, they, what, and who. Think of the subject as the star of the show. It's the central character that performs the main action being described in a sentence. If you get lost here, find the verb and then ask yourself who or what is performing this action. The predicate, on the other hand, is the action of the sentence. It's basically everything else in the sentence apart from the subject. It tells us what is happening and contains a verb. Let's go back to that sentence from earlier and see if we can spot the subject and predicate. Anne Frank was a Jewish teenager. Anne Frank is the subject of the sentence because this is the thing the sentence is about. Was a Jewish teenager is the predicate because it comments on the subject and contains a verb, the verb here being was. Let's have a look at a few more sentences and try to spot each component. Anne wrote in a diary. Here the subject is the noun Anne and the predicate is wrote in a diary. Note the verb here, which is wrote. She was very popular in school. Here the subject is the pronoun she and the predicate is was very popular in school. Again, the verb here is was. Now let's level up, introducing predicates in clauses. Before you panic, we have visited clauses already. We know that these are groups of words with a subject and a verb, but they don't make sense on their own. Let's take a look at an example. Who lived in an annex throughout the Holocaust. The subject is the pronoun who, and the predicate is lived in an annex throughout the Holocaust. Now this clause makes absolutely no sense on its own, but if we put this together with our sentence from earlier, it becomes Anne Frank was a Jewish teenager who lived in an annex throughout the Holocaust. The subject here is Anne Frank, the verb is was, and the predicate is was a Jewish teenager who lived in an annex throughout the Holocaust. Now, to recap, we know that a subject is the thing that performs the action in the sentence, and it contains a noun or a pronoun. We also now know that a predicate is the action of the sentence and contains a verb. Every sentence contains these two things. Have a go yourself and see if you can spot these components in sentences you see every day.